Welcome to Inner Voice of Knowing podcast. I'm Kaye Doran, a shamanic leadership coach and healer, guiding you through life with a foot in both worlds. When you understand the terrain of the inner landscapes, the mental, emotional, spiritual and energetic, you will become the leader within your physical life, both personally and professionally. After all, the power of change is in your hands. Let's get this journey started. Welcome back to Inner Voice of Knowing. This conversational journey today is a really important one because it's a kind of form of self-sabotage, if you like. It's making the path a whole lot harder than it actually needs to be. And here's what I'm hearing consistently with a lot of people via social media, some people that I know, and new clients that I'm working with. They have this false story and belief that they have to keep digging for what their so-called wound or blockage is that stops them from taking action. And here's the thing. When I first started my journey of reclaiming, remembering, regathering, reintegrating myself, I was in my early 20s. And I was trying to look back at my past and all the things, all the hurdles that were in the way of me feeling happier, more whole, more accomplished, if you will, or able to move forwards. Yet the more I kept digging, the more broken I felt. And I'm hearing people now using it as an excuse, or I need to find out where my money blockage is. I need to find out what is stopping me from taking an action. I need to find out. No, with the greatest of love, what you're really saying is, I need to feel in control. Let's repeat that. I need to feel in control, right? And when this changes, I can change. These are all parts of excuses where we hold ourselves back. Now, what you need to be able to do is absolutely start feeling. Hence the heart intelligence breathing, nice, big, deep, connected breaths, self-reflection. But self-reflection is not going digging. It's not I have to excavate myself and my path. It can be simpler. Much simpler than this. I had a woman who recently went through my 12-week program, the launching pad. She decided not to do it as a group. She did it on one-on-one. She's now 3 months out of the program and fulfilling her soul goal, which was a journey of travel, of global travel. And she messaged me and she did voice clips. And what I really loved is this is not immediately after the program. This is moving away from the program and living that aspiration. And she said what she's come to realise is the past isn't holding her captive anymore. She's feeling very certain within her knowing and being able to voice that from a place of power yet love. That's how we're here to live our lives, not to control, not to say my happiness will begin when the challenges stop. And here's the thing. We will have moments after rapid growth where we're living in that new frequency, we've embodied it, that new sense of self, where we've reclaimed something of the depth of the truth of who we are. We're living more soulfully. and everything feels like a beautiful flowing river or a calm ocean. And then control will start to creep back in again. But here's the thing. Unless the realization, the conscious awareness isn't brought into you, into your awareness, if I don't speak about this, these patterns will continue to run and you will believe you're continuing to do the work. But the work really is about bringing what's not yet into your awareness into your awareness. And recognizing when we're trying to control, when we need to release the need to control. Because we really can't control anything. We can simply choose how we respond. And therein lies our peace. Therein lies our sense of freedom. And understanding that when you feel so beautifully in that flow and you don't want anything to disturb it, and you feel like there is a threat that someone or something or a life experience will upset it, there's more to move into. Because that sense of freedom, that sense of flow, doesn't come by feeling that we have to protect it. We need to go the next layer of becoming and being it. So regardless of what happens externally, you can still remain in a sense of flow. That river flowing over and around the obstacles. And when the ocean goes from being calm into surf and the massive waves, it doesn't then say something is wrong with me. It's another expression of its truest nature. So let me bring this back around to feeling that like we need to sort of excavate our past. Let me find what that blockage is. When you go searching, you're not feeling. You're disconnected from your feeling state. When you go searching, you're not going to see. You're going down rabbit holes. When you become allowing, and when you understand that you don't need to be in control of everything and that there are false stories and beliefs continuing to play out in how you're unfolding and remembering, and for lack of a better word, for the physical healing is to take place, as though somehow I will heal and then I will be better than who and how I am right in this very moment. Are you feeling it? Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's perfect right now. You may feel there's a block, but there is, in reality, no block other than the barricades you're putting up internally with these false stories and beliefs. So let's go back to the basics of truth that we're all constantly moving into a deeper understanding, a deeper awareness of, an integration, a recalibration, the remembering. Okay, the universe exists within you. Everything is connected. Everything that you perceive in this world, from trees and oceans and sky and Mother Earth, every living being, human being, creature, everything is a connected energy to Source. Well, so are you. Therefore, you are connected and at one with it all these expressions of the one source, of creation, of knowing. Money is an energy. So all these false beliefs and these stories that we tell ourselves, in themselves, are what blocks or calls to halt that flow. And then you start looking in areas into your past which no longer exists, rather than feeling where it is in your emotional body via triggers, where it is stored in your physical body by your discomforts, pains, by staying present and connecting with the totality of the being that you are, by even recognizing that the flow comes in from all directions. Yet the false beliefs we bring to it are as something from my past is holding me back. There might be a holding pattern, but you're experiencing it now. All you need to be able to do is to connect in with yourself, to feel it, to release it. And if you're meant to understand it, that awareness will be released with it. And sometimes that comes after it. Look at it this way. If something triggers you and suddenly you find yourself crying, and you go into, well, where is this coming from? You are disconnecting from the present moment of the message carried through your tears, through the expression of the emotion. But we want to stop it, or someone else externally wants us to stop it because it reflects back to them their discomfort. Do you see the rabbit hole we go down? And then the invitation of, you know what, God, source, whatever word you'd like to use, if I'm meant to know, if this carries information other than this is a release, bring it into my awareness. But part of the way too that it's brought into your awareness is by how you speak about it, how you feel about it. And then how you reframe it. So if you listen to all my podcasts, there are all these different avenues, tools, if you like, that we can draw upon, and your knowing will know, or you choose one and the next one will reveal itself to you. Sometimes it's asking the question, beyond a shadow of doubt, can you say, is this absolute truth, 100%? Might be my partner doesn't do this for me, but can you say beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100%, that that person is never there for you, for example? Or can you name at least one way that person is there for you? And then you can go, well, just in this particular area, I'm not feeling that they're showing up for me, but then there's an expectation. Where am I not showing up for myself? Or, for example, something was said to me recently that I just felt a little thorn to it. I've already journeyed going, okay, I need to know where this is really meant to land, because I'm not back in my childhood. It may be just pushing out a little thorn that feels familiar. Oh, the false story that I build around it, which is something or other never, called that one out by saying, can I say that 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is true? But no, I can't. Now, if I go searching for where that comes from, the ego and the stories will throw out threads, like throwing out crumbs. Well, that's a gathering up, isn't it, of unnecessary energy that may not even be striking truth. So I just have the intention that I need to let this land, but my intention is it's going to land in truth. And whatever I need to know, whatever I need to feel, I will. Then something else takes place, and then the next moment I'm crying. I don't need to judge the tears. I just need to allow the release. Then, later on, an hour or so later, without the need to know what was going on, I came to the depth of insight that I've been doing a lot of alignment with divine feminine love through every aspect of me. Well, this was creating space for a depth of wisdom and understanding to bring me into a softer place. So you see, if I'd gone backtracking into my past, plugging back into an old story, it would have been an even greater distraction than the years that I've been learning to be present with it, which means in the present moment, allowing myself to feel it without compartmentalizing or the need to control by pretending I have to understand it in order to be with it, right? That I just choose to feel it. First, the intention was asking, no, I cannot bring 100%. I cannot say 100% that what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling is absolutely honest, the story that I'm saying. That's old. That calls that one out. The decision to allow it to sit with me and unfold in its perfect way without a need to control it, to compartmentalize it, to analyze it. To be present and feel it and be willing to let it take me on a journey. Now we say, this takes trust. Yes, it does. And the more that you align with this, the faster you return and live from this place. That's called, through the application of the concepts of the meeting place between the inner and outer, where integration from lived experience becomes an integration, where you're changed, but you must be willing. And the willingness to see the pattern with forgiveness, with love, with compassion, because you're not getting it wrong, you're just unlearning what the world and your stories have given you. And that's the journey. I was recently went on a shamanic journey for a half-day sound breath work. And a release came from me, and some words and a yell came from me. And all that mattered was it then felt free and had left from me. There's no need to start calling it back, to try to unravel it, to try to understand it. And here's the thing. We can understand some things. We can understand how to action in this world. We can understand that meditation might have great benefits for us. We can understand what Kaye says the heart intelligence breathing is doing. But there are some things, just like sending an email. I understand that I type the words and I press send, and I understand that you on the other side received that email. But I don't understand, and I don't need to understand the complexity of what's happening underneath. And this is what my client said to me, and this is 3 months down after the launching pad, living her soul-aligned level 3 goal, we call it, currently overseas, and said that program on the surface, those 12 weeks, on the surface seemed so simple. But it has created such profound depth of change where my past is no longer calling me. The power that was perceived in me, the facilitator, the coach, the guide, is now owned within her. And the certainty and the clarity and the self-honouring are felt and lived without thought or having to understand, to just recognise the complexity beneath the simplicity as she let go of control, as we rewove and exposed false stories and beliefs. And she gets to live present and feel and know what to do when a trigger or discomfort comes. Because you can't control others. You can't control the lessons that are provided via the experiences that are required for your soul. The peace and the freedom that you seek, that you want as permanent, is by applying and living and integrating this and learning slowly to not cling to the edge of the cliff and to not be afraid that you will crash and burn. To deepen and develop your understanding with soul and energy first. To develop that relationship with source and that inner voice of knowing. To have trust when you feel uncertain. When you know where you are within your expansive growth process. But everything within the universe has its order. Like I said, the wave does not question. The ocean is flat, is calm, is stormy, is a wave, and it never questions, is this wrong? So just like the energy of the water, let's look at the elements, the energy of the air, cool breeze, stillness, raging winds. It doesn't question its place in the world, in life. The fire that lights, that cooks, that destroys. So it's about removing the resistance and the need to control via these false stories, via these false beliefs that something is wrong and blocking you, which is the very block itself. The containment of that flow, of that energetic frequency in its natural state. So my invitation to you is, are you willing to feel? Are you willing to feel your emotions in a way that honours and releases them rather than recycles? Are you willing to deeply connect into the body and understand the language of what's happening in the body? Are you willing to do, to apply, to live the tools that you're learning? Are you willing to stop excavating and start living and appreciating that the truth will reveal itself with the intention of being present to what is taking place? By recognizing the only change that you have any control over is the choices that you make and the change that you create within yourself. And it's not that life has less mess. It has challenges because therein lies your growth. But how you view those challenges, the lenses you look through, as you change those lenses from victimhood to a soul on a journey, as you see the gifts in everything presented to you, the opportunities, as you recognize that in amongst the moment of great challenge can be a moment of great calm as well. When you apply sayings like the things that I live with, you know what, shit's going to happen. It'll either stink up my place, my life, or I'm going to use it to fertilize my inner garden. I'm going to stop exploring all the way back to my past and know that anything of my past is present within me now. The same as anything in a perceived future now moment is also calling me forward. We need to untether ourselves from the past, untether ourselves from being a victim, untether ourselves from the stories and false beliefs that we hold so firm to, untether ourselves from harsh judgment, to recognize we're horribly human and perfectly imperfect and also incredible wisdom carriers of soulfulness connected to the source of all that there is, ever has been and ever will be in everything and everyone else. And if you are meant to know, allow that knowing, that insight to rise up from within you by divine appointment at the right time, in the right way, in the space that you've created. And if you don't need to know, and you just have a moment of release and freedom from some tension you've been pushing back on inside of yourself, or some tears, isn't that a beautiful thing? Because we need to be looking inwards to move outwards. unencumbered, taking the journey, understanding soul and energy and oneness, and the fact that the universe does exist within us, therefore everything, everyone exists within us, reflecting back to us, and that life either happens to you, then you believe it happens through you, and then you settle back in home realizing it's coming from you and for you. Don't make this harder. Don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. But you may very well need a guide such as myself to help guide you, support you, and walk with you along the way. If you need that, you can go to my website and get hold of me. We can have a conversation. You can look into the program. You can look into Facebook groups. Certainly keep listening to this podcast. You've got this. We just need to allow it to be simpler and have greater ease, and let go of the need to understand the complexities behind the change. To be present, to be within your presence. So much love. Thanks for listening. Share it with a friend. Next time. Join me on my next episode, and if you love this podcast, please subscribe by clicking on the plus button if you're on Apple, or like and follow on Spotify. Rate and review, and please share Inner Voice of Knowing with your friends.